The Guardians of the Galaxy called and they said they want their guitar back, but I need to finish building it first, don't I? Welcome to Crimson Guitars, welcome to my home studio, and welcome to Nebula. We have got a few more videos before this guitar is completed, and we hear her play for the first time. I am sincerely looking forward to that. We have got a custom humbucker being made for us at Crimson Guitars. We are going to be installing piezo systems. We are going to be figuring out how I'm going to actually install the volume pot and all of that, but that is in the next episode. Today I finished making the custom tuning keys. Today I attempt the best fret job I've ever done. Burn it. Today the fun begins. Haha, yay! This episode has been sponsored by our friends over at Skillshare. I will talk about that a little bit later. Check out the links below though, because I absolutely love Skillshare. What can I do? So should you. Tuners, tuning keys. Or frets. Frets. Let's get on with the frets. The fret ends have already been done in an earlier episode, but I have lacquer on the ends, and I just want to finesse them and finalize that shape with a crimson fret end dressing file. So the file has a flat face and a rounded over face. Both of them are polished, so we're not going to damage the fretboard, but at this stage we've already done the main shaping. I'm just using whichever suits to clean the ends. This is a very, very fine file, so that the final polishing will not take as much work. It's a toss-up between more polishing later and quicker work now. And always run your finger down as well, and you can feel when you're getting it right. With the fret ends at the correct shape, I now go along with a Sharpie and mark the top of the frets. I'm going to level and crown these before I mask off the fretboard. I will then mask the fretboard off before I do the final polishing, just to make sure that the polishing compound doesn't get on the fretboard. But the process of actually leveling and crowning and polishing is not an issue if you use a fretboard protector. Before you do anything with the frets, you need to make absolutely certain that the neck itself is nice and flat, and the notches go over the frets, and that allows you to read the neck itself rather than the tops of the frets. And we have a multi-scale fretboard here, so one side is Gibson scale, one side is Fender, so I'm going to use both sides of the notch straight edge. A little bit of backbone. Perfect. Next up, leveling beam. And these need new paper. 320 grit will do nicely. Now that is on perfectly flat, on a perfectly flat substrate, and I can now level the frets. we want to, without putting much pressure on. The neck is supported, we've got the little neck rest there. And I'm not pushing down very hard at all. Let's remove the layer of permanent marker off the top of the fret. And if there is any marker left, that means that that fret, or that part of the fret, is lower than the frets on either side. And you need to keep on going for a little while. Take it gently, take it slow, and you'll be okay. Low spot just on the end there. Yeah, a little bit more. If the fret rocker rocks, then you find a high fret or a low one. Okay, so at this stage I am going to create fall away. Now, because of the geometry of a string and how it vibrates and all of that, as you play up the neck, you want to, instead of having the end of the neck shoot up, as it normally does to a certain extent, you want to push it down a little bit so that the vibration of the string does not create fret buzz and allows you to have a lower action. It's actually relatively easy to do. Take your masking tape, put 3 layers at the 12th fret, and on your leveling beam, another layer here, going halfway along. And what that means is that the section that is now protected sits on the 12th fret and notches it up a little bit, and we're going to create a small angle here. Onwards. Need to see what you're doing. Permanent marker. A little bit more. So we've removed, except just on the end there, okay, I'll sort that out, up to the 16th fret. Take a little bit more. Out of everything that we make at Crimson, this fret rocker is just so perfect and so necessary for the job. You should actually check out the Essential Fret Leveling and Dressing Toolkit if you are even remotely interested in doing this job. But fret rockers, beyond essential. Crowning! Let us do some crowning. So, traditional, triangular, crowning file. But, yet again, permanent marker on the top of the frets. Now what we are after is a line down the center of each fret of permanent marker left after you've crowned the frets, and that line needs to be around about 0.5 millimeter thick or thereabouts. The more delicate this is at this stage, the better, more accurate your intonation is going to be on each fret. The trick with a traditional crowning file is to essentially facet the fret, much like you would do when you're carving a neck, using our technique that we teach at our luthier school, of course. And what you're trying to do is run it along the edge of the fret, creating a flat edge. And then you go a little bit later, create the second facet, and those are rounded over during the final sanding and finishing process. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have 20 more frets to do, at least. So this episode was sponsored by our partners over at Skillshare. I am all about learning. I am all about expanding my own and other people's horizons. It is pretty much what defines me, and Skillshare is one of those places where I choose to spend a lot of my time. They have online classes, ad-free, encompassing everything from various crafts like painting and making clothes to video editing or photography or business and entrepreneurship, etc. I am about to take a course. Here we go, the how-to on how-tos, creating compelling tutorials for your blog. If that is not designed to help me improve what I do for you guys, I don't know what is. I'm looking forward to it. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description below will get a free trial of premium membership with Skillshare, so that you can explore your creativity and improve your life no end. Please click the link, have fun, learn something. On with the build. Isotunes. Love them. So the frets now have steep sides and a flat top, and I do want to cut that side in half, bisect it essentially, which means I need to mask off the fretboard, because I'm going to be doing that with a different file. And this masking tape is much thinner than the fretboard protectors. And now I need something finer to sort out the edges. Now often people will wrap 320 grit paper around a credit card or something like that. I'm going to use the masking tape and superglue trick to glue it onto the stick. Back to the 320 grit paper, wrap it around a fret rubber, And this is how we round things over. With that taken care of, it is on to fret rubbers. I'm going to go through coarse, medium, fine, and superfine, and then we can really polish things up. Onwards. The next stage is to use a bench grinder and a 6-inch polishing wheel with jeweler's rouge. This stuff is not good for your lungs, not at all. So I'm going to be wearing a mask and goggles and all that, but the frets are going to be absolutely perfect. Next up, Dremel with a little felt pad, jeweler's rouge. I'm just going to go over and make sure that all of the little spots are touched and sorted. Camera's at an angle, I'm so sorry. Long day. Excuses, excuses. Forgive me. Now this is not it's not the easiest thing in the world to film. There may still be the odd scratch that I need to sort out, and with a storm coming in, you probably can't hear the thunder in the background. It's not the best of lights. So I'm going to assume that I've got this right and move on. But if necessary, I can always remask the odd fret off and repolish. I've got some areas here that it's just not shiny enough, and I can't see properly in this light. So I'm going to call it an evening, mask up and remove all of this, but I will have to remask it up and rebuff in a couple of days. So, well, this is the end of this video. We have run up against the firmness of a deadline. And what I should be saying is I have already done the tuning keys and the customs and all that jazz. I finished all of that, but it made more sense for the video to start with the frets. But now you're going to see that, and then you're going to cut back to me here saying goodbye. So here is me finishing the tuners, or yes, here's me finishing the tuners. I hope you enjoy it. At this stage I realized that of course I should have left it in a group of 5 so that I could inlay all the aluminium in a nice handy strip. I have yet again made my life more difficult. Little baby. In my experience, you can never have too many clamps, of course. You can never have too many different needle files. So useful. One cut, one broken blade, stuck. Unstuck. This is working out rather well. I'm very excited. 1 done, 5 to go. I don't think I'm going to do any more carving on these. Unless it's uncomfortable. Unless it's uncomfortable to use. I think these are perfect. A little bit of tidying up, of course. But it doesn't need any more bevels. That's it. I'm happy. And now here's me saying goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you for watching. Please click like and subscribe and all that jazz. Do not forget that we have a major sale going on at both crimsonguitars.com, where you can purchase all of the tools, the fret leveling tools that I've made today, and among many other fantastic high-end guitar building things, and vintagetoolshop.com, which is my naughty little pleasure. I love the vintage tools, and that company has also got a summer sale on running concurrently, 15% off at vintagetoolshop.com, with over 8,000 tools live right now and growing. So crimsonguitars.com, vintagetoolshop.com, and most importantly, you guys have a good weekend. Go make some sawdust. I'll see you soon.